Hello everybody and welcome back. As always, I am Mateo311 and this is your channel for everything VR related. So today, by popular request, we are checking out Medieval Dynasty New Settlement on the Meta Quest. Now this is more of a first impressions video because I'm only a few hours deep in this game, and this is actually a very lengthy title. So between the lengthy campaign and the sandbox mode, you could dump a ton of hours into this game. So alongside my first impressions, I'll also give you guys the basic information, pros and cons, and who do I really recommend this game for. Now there are of course links and timestamps if you want to skip ahead, but before we jump in, today's video is brought to you by my long-term sponsor, Kiwi Design. Now guys, if you're playing a game like Medieval Dynasty, you don't want to stop at the 2-hour mark, you want to keep building, you want to make your huge settlement. So don't be worrying about the clock, get a battery strap from Kiwi Design. This is honestly my favorite. I've used so many different ones before. I love the plush material they use on the head strap and on the back. Feels great. Get 2 to 3 extra hours of gameplay. Very solid. I love it, guys. Highly recommend it. There is a link and a discount code down in the description. Don't forget to use that, 5% off, and it also helps support my channel. But let's get back to the video. So starting off with the basic information, Medieval Dynasty New Settlement will be available on the Meta Quest 2 and up for $29.99, releasing on March 28th. It has an expected gameplay length of 20 plus hours. In this action-adventure title that focuses on exploration, crafting, and built from the ground up for VR survival mechanics. This is not a port of the flat screen title, but rather an entirely new spin-off. You could jump in for the main campaign, which includes a narrated storyline and a series of tasks to complete, but if you rather get straight into crafting, a sandbox mode is also available. Now I want to move into my expectations and overall experience with this title. I have to be honest with you guys, when everyone was requesting I play Medieval Dynasty in Monday's video, I wasn't super excited. This isn't my go-to genre or my type of game. But one thing that makes VR so special is it's constantly pushing me outside of my genre comfort zone and finding new experiences that I really enjoy, and Medieval Dynasty just happens to be one more of those games. The concept of scavenging for materials to slowly craft your own settlement sounded a bit mundane and almost like a chore, but in practice, it's actually quite fun and very rewarding. The 30 or so minutes it took me to collect the right materials and craft my first house actually left me feeling quite accomplished. And the same goes for the first time I hunted an animal, created new tools, brewed up a stew, or just roasted some food over a nice cozy fire. Now this mainly works because the VR mechanics are just intuitive and feel right. A lot of times I wasn't even looking at the pop-up hints of how to do things. I just did what made sense. I started chopping meat and veggies and threw them into the stew, and I basically said, oh, I need a few more pieces of meat because there's a counter there, and boom, next thing you know, I got myself a nice, delicious, refreshing stew. I mean, it just works. No, it's not ultra realistic because who would want that? You know how much effort it takes to chop down a tree? I'm okay with hacking 5, 6, 7 times and then collecting some logs. That is the right amount of effort. I don't need true realism here. This has the perfect combination of VR mechanics. And the same goes for pretty much everything else in the game. Like when I was chasing down a bunny, doing that in real life is nearly impossible. But in game, it feels like the perfect amount of effort. Now, speaking of effort, there are 3 distinct different difficulty levels. So if you just want to experience the storyline and rarely ever die from dehydration or animal attacks, you can definitely go with the story mode option. Now, the balanced option feels perfect for me, but if you enjoy a challenge, sure, go ahead and crank things up. Now, I always like to compare new titles to what else is out there, just so you guys can understand exactly what it feels like. From the building standpoint, it's a lot like The Forest, which is a game I actually loved in the past. But you don't have to worry about cannibals or mutants attacking you, and it's not all blood and guts and gory. So if you just like the crafting aspect, something a bit more chill, you'll get a chill version of The Forest basically with a storyline campaign. Now, one of VR's other biggest survival titles is Green Hell, and I have to say this game is just much more forgiving than that one. I would prefer this. Like I said, I enjoy the chill aspect for whatever reason. Green Hell frustrated me because I was constantly dying of dehydration. I fell off a cliff. I really struggled to figure out how to build certain things. This game eases you in a lot more. So if you liked Green Hell but was frustrated with the difficulty, or it just wasn't right for you, a little bit too gritty, a little bit too hard, this might be the game for you. And on that note, it's the perfect time to go through the pros and cons and who I recommend this game for. On the pro side, we have a very lengthy campaign filled with excellent and intuitive mechanics. Medieval Destiny also does an excellent job of just bringing something new to VR, including a genre we don't see too often, and just plenty of content to experience. Additionally, unlike many other games that release these days, I'm yet to experience any bugs in my overall playthrough. Now on the con side, this definitely isn't one of the best looking VR titles. You could definitely see a lot of texture pop in, and there's even some frame rate hitching, especially when you're using native recording. Now at $29.99, this game is actually a great value. With the amount of content you get, that lengthy campaign and the sandbox mode, you can just keep coming back and building more and more, or restarting, whatever you want to do, mastering those mechanics, it's up to you. The game is an overall great value. If you're not sensitive to VR frame drops and you're not looking for super awesome graphics, then I would definitely recommend this game, especially if you're a survival fan. If you like those type of games where, you know, you have to collect resources, manage your hunger, your thirst, survive in the wilderness, this is the perfect game. It's a lot more forgiving than other titles like The Forest or like Green Hell. So it's a little bit more chill version of that. And it also has this cool edited storyline. Like, you'll experience these almost ominous dreams every night that go back into your history, why you left where you came from to find a new land and continue your destiny. Overall, this game actually surpassed my expectations by far. Now, that's not saying much because, like I said, my expectations were pretty low going in, but this game absolutely blew them away. I didn't expect to like a game like this. I enjoyed it. I'm actually going to go jump back in right after this, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any other questions, please drop them down in the comments. If you like this, leave a thumbs up, and as always, I'll see you guys on next time.